Hello, BookTube. It's Tuesday, so I'll try a tag. This is the A tag, created by Jim's Books, Reading and Stuff. It seems to be a popular tag, so I'll weigh in on it. There's 8 questions. Uh, Number 1, A is for America. Well, not always. What do you consider the great American novel? Now, there's a few contenders, I think, for this. Grapes of Wrath is one of them. And a lot of people have said To Kill a Mockingbird, and I think that might be a contender as well because it's showing how a lot of people have lived the darker side, not the glitz and glamour that is sort of whitewashed over. And another one is, I think, the best out of them all would be John Dos Passos' USA trilogy. A is for arc. Which character in literature has the most interesting character arc? Oh, it's a little difficult. Well, it says literature, so uh, I'm not sure if he's talking about literature in the big sense or the narrow sense. But I think it would. The one that comes to mind is Lewis Eliot from Strangers and Brothers by C.P. Snow. He changes a lot throughout his arc, where he sort of starts out from and his journey, and then his sort of inevitable end. Um, yeah, I would say that. A is for Australia. What was the last book you read by an Australian author? Ooh, should look this up. I I can't think of the last one that I've read. Um, I'm sure it was a. I'm sure it was a crime novel, a mystery novel. I think it was in one of the that crime club or the detective club one, but I can't think of what it was. Um, Number 4, A is for Austen. What do you plan to read for Jane Austen July? Not Jane Austen. I have read all her stuff and never liked it. So it will be. I will revisit someday, but not anytime soon. Um, I'm revisiting a few authors, and some are turning out better than I thought they were. And one this week has turned out bad. But we'll talk about that on Friday Reads. Number 5, A is for automobile. What is your favorite literary automobile? I don't really think of when I'm reading the automobiles at all because like they may be integral to the story, but it's more visual. I think I would need to see. But saying that, it's like in Jeeves and Wooster by P.G. Wodehouse, especially on the TV series. They drive around in a 1930s Aston Martin. And another book that's, or a series of books by Dornford Yates, Barry and Company and Adele and Company. They drive sort of some nice race cars throughout Europe, and just a sort of heyday of glory days of Edwardian England in many ways. Kind of like P.G. Woodhouse, not as well written and not as well, as glamorous, I suppose, but not as well written and well crafted as P.G. Woodhouse. But Dornford Yates was a very popular author and a very fun read. You can just zip through one of his novels in an afternoon, on a wet afternoon. Number 6, A is for anonymous. What is your favorite book or poem published anonymously? Well, I don't have a favorite. I suppose a lot of Anglo-Saxon poetry, Beowulf and so forth, and like I think Sir Gawain of the Green Knight is anonymous, and there's a lot for poetry. And if you get to anonymous books, um, well, I'm not sure if the question means that was published. Let me see, what does it say here? We're published anonymously. Okay, well, I guess there's so much that came out anonymously, and they found out later, like essay on what's this Malthus's essay on population, I think it's called. There might be another name for it. I remember really liking that when I read it 40 some years ago. So there's quite a few. And A is for audiobooks. Do you consider listening to an audiobook as reading? No, it's not. It's something else, which is fine, but it's not reading. Simple as that. Just hands down, not reading. And I think anybody who calls it that needs to, look up the word what reading actually means. But anyway, that is it for the tag, and that was quite short. Anyway, that was the A tag. I think there's a B tag at least. Maybe I'll do that next week. But I'll be back tomorrow with shelf. What am I doing here? Shelf 4? Is that right? Yeah, shelf 4, I think. I might have already done shelf 4. I'm not sure. I'll be back with a shelf tour anyway. Take care, BookTube.